Hi folks, welcome back. So in the previous video, we talked about how to set up, the in-cluster cloud service mesh in the GKE in Azure. So in this particular video, let's focus on, how to set up this in-cluster cloud service mesh for GKE in Amazon. So, we have already discussed about these prerequisites and, what are the steps involved in the plan as installation and installation dependencies and all those things. So, I'm not going to give a walkthrough once again. And, I have already set up the, GKE on AWS and my cluster is up and running. So if you don't know, how to install GKE on AWS, I have already recorded, a video, specific video, which is already there in my playlist. I think it could be video number 4 or 5. I request all of you to go through that to understand the mechanism of, setting up the GKE on AWS. It's a straightforward process, which I have explained in detail. So since for the time saving purpose, so I have already set up the cluster because the aim here is to demonstrate how to set up the cloud service mesh in outside Google Cloud environments, basically the GKE and AWS. So we have already demonstrated how to set up this in cluster cloud service mesh for GKE and Azure. So let's straight away focus on this topic. So what I'll do, straight away I'll just create one directory mk. Okay, this is an AWS mesh. So what I will do, I will fetch the config file which is required to do the ASM validate as well as the ASM install, which I have already shown in my previous video. So the output of this I will store in a file called config. So now let's see whether this file is valid or not. kubectl hyphen kubeconfig is equal to config get nodes. Okay, it's working as expected. That means this config will be valid. Now let's go back to the implementation steps, which is here, the prerequisite, all those things which I've already explained in the previous video. So the next thing is here. Once again, I'm choosing the mesh CA, choosing the different certificate authority I've already explained in the previous video. Now installing the dependency tools. So auth login, since I have not done any changes since the previous stuff which I have already shown. So G Cloud components update as well I have already done as a part of GKE in Azure setup, since I'm recording this video in the same day, so I'm not going to do this again. So let's straight away go and grab the ASM CLI. So what I'll do is, rather than 24, I will do 23, because 24 still it's a brand new and has some stuffs which might be causing the dependency issues, because I have prepared this entire stuff for 23. Okay, it's downloaded the latest version of ASMCLI with respect to 23 version. So let's give the execute permission for this. All right. It's ready. The next step would be, set you're switching to the context where you are supposed to run this stuff. I already switched the context. I am present in that particular cube context only. If you see kubectl config current context, it will show which context I am currently in. And this role again, I'm not going to do this because with the help of ASM validate, let it show, and then we'll make it enable all, and automatically it will enable. So once again, the ASMCLA validate command. So I have already constructed this as a part of the previous setup. So I'll just use this and let me run this and see if anything is missing. This would take a couple of minutes. So let's come back once it is done. All right. So the command, successfully ran, and as expected, it is showing some missing stuffs in the error section. So in order to solve all these things, we can use this, hyphen hyphen enable all, and we can set up. So let's, I mean, you can go to the documentation and see in the next page it is mentioned here how to do it. So in this case, it would be AWS. So I'm already in that context now. So again, there is no need to switch. So straight away I can run this. So the extra argument that I need to supply would be enable all and then mesh CA. So I'll straight away, adjust this command only, and I'll put enable all option and then mesh CA option. And then rather than validate, I'll change it to install. That's all. So let's, install the service mesh here. Again, this would take couple of minutes. So let's come back. All right. So you can see now it's successfully installed. Let's cross check. So it's showing, it has created the Istio system namespace. So let's check whether the IstioD is successfully installed or not. There you go. So IstioD, is successfully installed. As I was mentioning in the previous video and even during the introduction. So the default service mesh implementation for managed Google Service Mesh would be Traffic D, and then the in-cluster cloud service mesh implementation would be Istio D. So we have successfully shown that in the previous video for GKE in Amazon, and in this video for GKE in sorry, in the previous video GKE for Azure, and in this video GKE for Amazon. So, that concludes the session for like, how to set up the GKE, in cluster service mesh in other public clouds, respectively on Azure and AWS. So, in the next session, we would be focusing on how we can set up the multi-cluster service mesh for, in cluster, method, and then that is basically in the off Google Cloud environments. So that, with that video, I think we are almost done with everything, and then we will conclude complete, service mesh aspects, and then we will jump into, Anthos config manager. So thanks for watching this. Please do subscribe to my channel and support me. See you in the next video.